Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today we are getting ready for Christmas. So we are having our family Christmas this weekend, but when you see this, it'll be closer to Christmas. But I wanted to kind of take you along. I'm pretty much going to do mostly the same thing for our family Christmas. I'm really excited this year. My parents are actually coming out to visit us from the Midwest. So I'm looking forward to them being here. But so one tradition that we kind of started last year is my husband's family. We have a few family members that live here, some that live out of country, some that live in the Midwest is where most of my family lives. And so we started doing about a week before Christmas, or kind of the Saturday before Christmas. So it kind of depends on where it falls. We do we call it family Christmas. And so because what was happening is there's so many of us right now that are just full, like we're just so busy, like we have a lot of kids and everyone else has kind of started their families, and you know, traveling is getting expensive, and sometimes it's just really hard to balance between like all the family members, and some people want a quieter Christmas, some don't. And so we decided to do family Christmas. So the first dish I'm making is actually a family tradition of ours. It is not healthy, it is not from scratch, but it is a hash brown casserole. I'm making 2 of them because there's going to be a big group there. My mother-in-law invited a few more people than just our family, so I wanted to make sure that we had plenty of food, I guess. So yeah, so our tradition has kind of changed. We started doing like kind of the big family get together before Christmas, generally because people from out of town can make it in a little bit easier than it is during Christmas time, and then they can have Christmas with their families. So I'll be honest, I have mixed feelings about it. I do enjoy having something planned, but I have a really hard time like not having people over on Christmas or not doing a whole lot on Christmas Day. Because when I was a kid, it was always, we would do Christmas Eve with my immediate family, my mom, my dad, my brother and sister. And then on Christmas Day, we'd all go over to my grandmother's house and go to, basically it would be a big Christmas there, I guess. So my aunt and uncle would be there. I'd have my other aunt and uncle and my cousins. We only really had 2 cousins that I grew up with. So it was kind of small, but still it just felt big to me. And so it's kind of hard now. Of course, all of my grandparents have now passed on, which has been kind of rough because my grandmother passed away this last summer. So I'm kind of having like mixed feelings about Christmas this year. So, I mean, part of me wants to kind of, you know, lean into some new traditions, especially with our kids. And we're doing a few new things this year too. But I don't know, it was kind of fun making. I actually got a little bit emotional because I used my grandmother's cookie bowl making cookies a couple weeks ago. It was the first time I made cookies for something. What was it? Oh yeah, we did our cookie exchange, and that was like about 2 weeks ago. And so it's just been kind of, I don't know, it's been kind of an interesting, kind of a rough Christmas in a sense, but I'm glad that my parents are going to come out. My siblings are not, and like I said, everything's changing, and then it's hard to just balance between all the family members. And when you're kind of on the large side of a family, sometimes it's hard because we used to kind of be the family that would travel to everybody, but now we're like, just due to finances and just everything, we're kind of have to stop doing that. And of course, and I mean, I know that nobody owes me their time, or nobody owes me a trip to come out here, but sometimes it kind of makes me feel a little sad that I feel like we've put in so much effort to go see people, and sometimes it's not always reciprocated. So I'm trying to kind of look forward. I'm trying to focus on moving towards enjoying like kind of new traditions, and honestly, I'm just trying to figure out how to be okay with just doing Christmas just us, you know. Like I said, my parents will be here, which is really exciting, and I'm hoping it's a lot of fun, but I also feel like it's just, you know, things are just changing so much, and so I'm trying to find kind of those new traditions to hold on to, for lack of better words, to kind of help get me through the holiday season. Because I don't know, like I used to love, as a kid, Christmas was always my favorite. I always loved it, you know, just everything about it. And I loved helping my mom in the kitchen, just like Miss Kiva's helping me today. But I just really feel like overall, it's been hard lately, I guess. So, but you know what? We're moving forward and we're figuring it out. So So it's really simple. I'm actually just prepping these hash brown casseroles, and you saw it's really simple ingredients. And it's a really easy like crowd pleaser. It's always tasty, always good, so everyone loves it. And I'm sure there's a few things I could do, like I could learn how to make the cream of chicken soup from scratch, but obviously for simplicity's sake, I just went ahead and used canned stuff. And I have a lot of cream of mushroom soups and cream of chicken soups. But one of the things I enjoy is having the kids help me. My older girls, when they were home with me, they would help me with the Christmas stuff, but now that they're in school, it's kind of been a little different. But I'm sure they'll help me make it when it's time to make it for my family's Christmas, because pretty soon they'll be out of school and then we'll be getting ready for Christmas and everyone will be here and I can't wait. I'm very excited, as you can tell. So I'm putting some foil on the top one, the other one has a lid, and then I'm just writing the amount on it because I'm actually going to drop these off at my mother-in-law's house for them to throw in the oven, because I think they were planning on Christmas dinner being about noonish, which is, my family always does an early dinner. I prefer it. I feel like doing dinners early in the day, especially like with us, that we have a lot of kids, and I just like being able to kind of be done with dinner and be able to come home around normal dinner time. And it gives my kids a chance to kind of unwind from, you know, all the stimulation that was, because they did a little gift exchange, and I am going to wrap presents here in a little bit. They did a little gift exchange. All the kids bought a gift for each other. They drew names, and then there was also kind of a white elephant gift too. That was a lot of fun. But now I'm moving on to making my traditional sugar cookie recipe. This is, like I've said it before, it's from my mom's cookbook, probably from like the 1950s or 60s, and it does have shortening in it. I am making it true to the traditional form, but I have subbed coconut oil, and it does work. My only issue with coconut oil is that the cookies spread really bad. So if you don't really care about the shapes that they're going to be, then they will, if you don't really care about the shapes that they're going to be, then you can use coconut oil. The problem is I haven't found like a good substitute, and the lard that I rendered, which I did render lard recently, I was so proud of myself, it definitely was not, how do I put it? It was not the type of lard that like is scentless. It still has kind of that porky scent to it and a little bit of that flavor, so I didn't want to chance it. But I know you could probably sub lard too if you keep the kind that is rendered so well that it doesn't have a smell. So Kiva's blowing kisses to the camera. She's such a ham. So Freya's around here somewhere. I think actually she was taking a nap. This is still kind of in the morning time. And Kiva, as you can see, hadn't gotten ready for the day yet. I honestly, today was all about getting my Christmas baking done. The olders are at school, and so I was like, while Freya was napping, I was like, my only focus was to get these cookies baked, because they're like, with her running around, she's a great kid, but you know, she wants to get into everything, and sometimes she's not quite old enough to understand like how to help me. So I kind of like to work around her nap time when it comes to stuff like that, and I normally have like a short period, but so I'm just rolling out the dough, and it's so funny. This is probably one of the first times I made them. I'm like, I realized this is a lot of work. This is one of those things where it's a very special treat during the holidays, and I don't make them that often. I did kind of start making them every once in a while for birthdays, but that's kind of, it's just a lot of work. So it's something that, like, unless I'm like really good at planning ahead, I don't always get it done. But that is kind of something I like to do. Like I said, these are kind of my specialty. They're my absolute favorite cookies in the entire world. You know, they just remind me of my childhood and growing up, and my grandma and my mom. So I really, really enjoy them. And Kiva was helping me cut out some shapes. She's being very helpful today. And that's one thing that I like about this one. I feel like I have always have memories of helping my mom with these cookies, and so it's kind of fun to kind of pass down those memories and little traditions with my kids. I think my olders can probably help me mix the dough this year, and I might have them, because I'll make these one more time. I've literally made these cookies so many times this year, like way more often than I normally do. But I'll make them one more time, probably right before Christmas, so that we'll have them with Christmas dessert. And then my husband, his favorite recipe is he makes these chocolate Christmas crinkle cookies, and they're like, it's almost like a brownie, and then they roll it in powdered sugar and then you bake it, and they're delicious. And he actually makes them himself. He's so cute. He's very limited. He's not a big cook, but he is really proud of himself that he at least knows how to make like one type of cookie, and he knows how to make just like a few things, so that every once in a while he can do that and feel like he's accomplished something. So, and as you can tell, I went with kind of simple shapes this time. I have some really cool from like probably from the 1980s, but they feel very vintage to me. They're the kind of cookie cutters I grew up with. But like the last time I made them using them, they were just being really finicky, and I just didn't have the energy to deal with them today. So I just went basic. You know, we got some angels, some snowmen, all that good stuff. Okay, so now I have all the gifts for the gift exchange. Freya's up, but I actually had to shut the door on them to try to get these wrapped. So they're watching a show in the living room, just kind of outside my door. So we did get, so my mother-in-law requested a family picture framed because they just moved into a new house, and so she wants to get some family pictures on the wall. So that gift is actually going to go to her. It's not one of the exchange gifts, but I just wrapped up a few gifts today. I'm so proud of myself though. A couple weeks ago I did go out to, actually most of our gifts we kind of hide in the travel trailer, because obviously the kids aren't going to be going out there during the winter, and it kind of makes a good storage spot that's safe, that like I said is kid safe, because I have kids that are really smart and they're very sneaky, and at Christmas time they want to like look everywhere and try to find their presents. So I'm wrapping up these presents, and yeah, so I went out there and I wrapped up probably about 3/4 of the gifts that they're going to get for Christmas. And I'm hoping my mom is going to help me wrap, because I have a few, like some of their bigger gifts, and I'm just a little bit stumped on how to wrap them, so my mom's going to help me wrap them. So today I'm wrapping a few gifts, and the weather was actually really nice. You can see the sun coming in from the window. I was kind of excited that it wasn't like super crummy like it normally is this time of year. And Fifi came in because she was getting very upset, so I let her come in and watch me wrap presents, because I'd already gotten hers wrapped up. So not that she would really notice anyway, but I think this was getting close to about second nap time. So all the presents are done. They're ready to go in the van and be ready for our little family Christmas tomorrow. So I am done baking the cookies. I'm putting all the good ones pretty much up on that. I kind of put them out of the way because my kids, I love them to death, but they will eat all the cookies if I let them. So I decided I have made royal icing before. I'm still trying to get the consistencies down with royal icing. It's kind of hit or miss with me. So I've started, so I just made buttercream this time, which is what we would buy like the store-bought buttercream to frost our cookies. So I've just decided to I just made red and green buttercream frosting this time to frost the cookies, and the frosting always tastes better when it's made from scratch, that's for sure. My red turned out really pink, so I did have to add some more, because I don't know about you, but red is a really hard color for me to get like dark enough to not be pink. I don't know what it is about red, it just does that. Throwing the frosting in the piping bags and getting ready to frost the cookies. And it's now past dinner time, and I did have to run one of my kids to basketball practice. So I did a few cookies, and then we had to go, and I had 2 kids. So I have 2 kids that have to go to 2 different places for basketball practice. So I had to go run them to their practices, and then we ended up just kind of hanging out at the second kid's practice. And then our youngest, second oldest daughter, her coach actually lives close to us, so he ended up bringing her home, which was great. So I was able to get all the cookies frosted for the most part, and I just did kind of simple designs. This is just how we decorated them when I was a kid. We just kind of we didn't fully frost them, probably because that would be a lot of frosting and it would be really, really sweet. But these are kind of the designs that I remember doing as a kid, and just, I don't know, they're just fun cookies. I always enjoy making them. Even though they are a lot of work, I feel like whenever I'm done, I'm just kind of always excited about them being done and how they look. So So the cookies are done. I am wishing you all a lovely holiday season, and I hope you get lots of rest and you have a great time with all your friends and family. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.